that light you up during the daytime and nighttime. Anytime you slow down, brake free activates, no matter how. Engine braking, downshifting, regular braking, emergency braking. You slow down, it turns on. Brake Free is a small company. We're only 4 co-founders and 1 employee at this point, and we're all passionate motorcycle enthusiasts. We love riding, and we've created this product for our community. We wanted to make sure that motorcycle riders are safe and seen out there on the roads. We saw a huge need for visibility, and that's why we've created this product.
I was in an accident 12 months ago to the day. I was driving on southbound Santa Fe, and somebody did a suicide left in front of me, and I T-boned him at 45 miles an hour. From that point forward, I don't remember anything for the next 18 days because I was in a coma.
She broke 9 bones, lacerated my spleen, put me in the hospital for 21 days. I remember none of it.
Biker Down was founded in 2011 after riding several rides over the summer and seeing, tragically, my friends get injured. And I felt that there was a need missing in Denver and in Colorado for an organization that helped the biker community. As you may know, the bikers are one of the most charitable entities out there, and what we do is provide them a variety of services such as medical equipment, financial assistance if necessary, and a plethora of resources to help them stay afloat during the hardest time in their life, which is their recovery. You know, my biggest hope is that I'll never get another phone call that a biker's gone down, but you know, that's not realistic. So I think my true realistic dream is that we can help as many as we can help, because it is life-changing for them. Certainly donating and volunteering your time, and even if you can't do that, attend our events. You know, attend our event and get a $20 t-shirt for your $20. You know, those kind of things make a big difference in a small nonprofit like ours.
Hey, welcome back to the award-winning 99% Radio Network here in the Fishbowl. I want to give a big shout-out to Cuffs. Melanie, who's listening. Cuffs, what's going on, man? I hope I see you out in Hockley for the Thin Blue Line LEMC Fajita Cook-Off on January 31st down in Hockley, Texas, man. I hope I see you down there. And Deborah Johnson, Mom's listening. Mom's listening. All right.
I'm always listening.
Hey, Lori, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. We got Lori Montoya with Biker Down on. Hey, Lori, where is Lori today?
I'm still home in Colorado. I'm here till the end of the month. And then I'll start my traveling schedule. But you guys almost had a surprise visitor today in your studio, because my daughter and I she's in Dallas, and I was going to fly to Dallas. There's a show called WESA, which is Western accessories, and where you go to do all your buying. And that's going on in Dallas right now. And
she could have came on.
I know, but we were gonna just like show up and that would have been great and stuff. So it gets me in that mindset that we need to plan something in February for me to come and do a live segment with you guys, because throughout the segment, you guys talk about a lot of things that are truly I'm passionate about, like you guys. And I've got my Be the Kind of American Worth Fighting For, and also be the kind of American worth protecting.
Without a doubt. I mean, you know, if we, and that's what I love about the biker community. The biker community holds unity together, and, you know, it's going to be the biker community that's going to stand up when things go bad, because they stand up for every organization, every foundation. They are the first ones out to do fundraisers and they are going to be the ones who are going to fight for this country. It's going to be our biker community that's going to stand up and protect everybody.
That's why one of my favorite T-shirts I do is from Jason Aldean. Try this in a small town. Try that bullshit in a small biker community and see how
biker bar.
Yeah, and see how well that goes for you. You know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And stuff.
Yeah, it won't turn out well. It won't turn out well.
One of the things that we talked about last week that I think is super important is we were talking about the difference between lane filtering and lane splitting.
Yes.
And so I kind of wanted to elaborate a little bit more on that. Lane splitting is riding between lanes of moving or slow moving traffic. So you're in a traffic, we all have traffic in Dallas and here in Colorado. And it just means that you can ride through the traffic without anything. And that's why it's primarily only in the state of California. It is very dangerous. It startles drivers. I mean, I get startled and I know about lane splitting, and all of a sudden a little sport bike just comes zooming by you. And I hate to profile because, we support all bikers that ride, but it is a lot of this is going on dangerously with the guys that ride the sport bikes. So
Lori, you brought up a good point. And, you see all those YouTube videos of these guys with their motorcycle cams and they are whipping between cars, lane splitting. And I know it's like an adrenaline rush and it's a lot of fun, but, you must see and hear like a lot of these accidents that happen on bikes are preventable. It's just bikers doing stupid shit.
Well, yeah, it goes back to what we were talking about, the other day. And both of you are bikers. So, I'm following behind my husband and we come up to an intersection. I immediately, when I go through an intersection, I immediately go to his left. And the reason I go to his left is if somebody's going to get hurt, and I hate to say it that way, but this is what he wants, is he wants to block for me.
Right. Mm-hmm. He's got the bigger insurance policy.
Yeah. Right. Life insurance. If we're turning left into our subdivision, I turn inside of him. So what I'm saying is that people need to really consider taking classes about more defensive type of riding. This isn't a matter of whether you know how to ride a bike or not. It's a matter of, do you know how to quickly stop your bike? Shifting down super, super fast. I mean, I thought the first time I did it, my bike was going to blow up. But, you can shift down really quick. You can really slow that bike down. I know I rarely use my front brake versus on my freewheeler, I can use my back brakes.
That's see, I got the Tri-Glide.
Yeah.
So I moved from the Ultra Classic to 2 wheels to 3 wheels. So I can't lane split. But another big thing when you say
or filter.
or filter, I can't do that without causing a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But when as soon as I got on the bike, learn your controls too, because even like you said, my horn. One day I'm like, where the hell is my horn? I'm like, I should know where the fuck that is.
But speaking of horns, something that we have featured before is something called a screaming banshee, and it's a horn that is super loud. The decibels on it is 5 times louder. Wow. So that when you are going through an intersection, when you need to, address a driver, that your horn, you can get other horns for your bike that are much louder than what stock comes with your bike. So that there's a safety protest. On your bike. Yeah, I mean, look up the word screaming banshee. I've got actually two of them. One we're going to give away at the expo. But that's super important. But that's the same thing. Like one time Chomper tried to lane filter and I said to him, I said, what the hell are you doing? He goes, well, I can filter. And I said, I can't.
Oh, you're on a trike.
Yeah, I can't. So then the difference with lane filtering is, again, if you're 5 or 6 or 7 cars back and you come up to an intersection, you have the right to go through the traffic and go to the front of the line. Now, the purpose of that is that there are so many drivers driving distracted that I just had a biker that was plowed into from behind sitting at a stoplight. So that's the process of that. But the negative to it is that a lot of our younger bikers, I won't even say what kind of bike, younger bikers are taking that as license to go up to the front, the light turns green, and now they take off balls to the walls, doing wheelies and things like that. The other thing you have to think about with the lane filtering is the fact that you're riding in a group and now you all go and lane filter and now you're surrounding those cars.
You're going to piss a lot of people off.
You should know
You're going to piss a lot of people off. They're not going to like that sense of entitlement, and they may do something to not hit you, but try to prevent you from getting in front of them. So it isn't that you can't, there aren't times that it could prove useful. You're in Dallas, well, you can't do it, but I'm in Las Vegas and it's 120 degrees and I'm stuck in traffic. Yes, we talked about it. It's air cooled. I got to keep my bike moving, everything else. It's meant to keep you safer. And also, when you're in traffic, you don't have to be right up to the bike in front of you, the car that's in front of you. Give yourself a little extra room. I used to always
right in front of you.
I used to always put my bike in neutral when I was at a light. And in the defensive class, they told me that was bad for me to do that because I couldn't get myself out of a situation or move up even just, 8 inches just to hopefully have someone not hit me. And when you're at a traffic light, you need to have some sort of exit strategy. So if my bike's in neutral, by the time I put it in first and start to go, I've probably left myself in harm's way. So, again,
with that too, and I'll bring up another point. I see a lot of bikes when they pull up to a light, they'll be right on the center bumper of the car in front of them. Stay off to either the right or the left side, because you have a distracted driver. If he's on his phone coming to that light, he's not going to see you. He's going to plow right into you and crush you between the two cars. So you always want to be observant on
and have an exit strategy.
Have an exit strategy. Exactly.
So that was something that, I really wanted us to kind of elaborate on. In 2023 in the state of Texas, they passed House Bill 4122, which amended the Texas Transport to explicitly prohibit operating motorcycles in between lanes of traffic moving in the same direction. So, while we're talking about it, now we're telling people about it, please don't think, that you can do it, because you will get fined between $175 and $250 and stuff. Yes. One of the other things that I kind of wanted to really talk to you guys about is the fact that Daytona is coming. And a lot of you are going to want to ride to Daytona. And the one thing about Daytona that you have to be really careful about is the fact that Daytona has the worst personal injury laws in the state, in the country. So really? You are riding to Daytona for Daytona Bike Week and you get hit. Understand that in the state of Florida, liability only is $10,000.
That ain't going to cover your medevac.
It's not going to cover your ER bill or anything like that. And so now you get hit by an underinsured or $10,000 driver and you're in Daytona for 2 or 3 weeks recovering and things like that. You have got to absolutely have the right insurance for, and I really hate to talk about this every single week, but also Florida does not require motorcycle riders to carry traditional liability. So, you know, there's a lot of traffic in Daytona, and it's really critical that you have the means to have your own financial responsibility. And what does that mean? It really means carrying underinsured and uninsured motorists. It's a state where, you know, by chance, I mean, there's a predominantly much older people there that are driving. Maybe they shouldn't be driving. Maybe their son, you know, pays off their car and puts only liability only on mom.
Big old Cadillacs and
yeah. You know, it's also a state where you don't have to wear your helmet. And, you know, while we all love, and here in Colorado, I love having the choice of whether or not to wear a helmet. It can be the difference. The only two things on the body that cannot be fixed is the brain and the spine.
We found that out in Minneapolis. You can't fix stupid.
No, you can't.
You can't fix those brains.
Yeah, and liability only is just not going to be enough. And as I mentioned last week, and it still rings true on the 21st of January, I have not had one single motorcycle accident where the biker had more than liability only. And I don't know what to do to empower you guys to get the right insurance, but you're doing yourself such a disservice. You really are. The guy that was in Florida, he's like, well, Mom, my insurance was only $10 a month. And it's the old Latin saying, the cheap becomes expensive. You know,
well, it's because everybody's got the "it's not going to happen to me" attitude until it does.
Yeah, and it's happening so much more frequently that you just got to. I mean, I implore everyone watching this to please get insurance that gives you underinsured and uninsured, even a $10,000 or $15,000 med pay. MedPay will help you with your medical bills. But what I'm worried about is I personally could care less about the medical bills. What I really care about is you having the money to keep your nose above water. You know, no friend, no organization, no family members are going to be able to financially keep you going for 3, 6, 9 months of $2,200 a month house payment or rent payment and your utilities and your credit card bills. And just think about what your average budget is every month and times that times 3. And if you own your own business, call Aflac, get short-term disability of some sort, get the accident policy through Biker Down. We've talked about that before, but you're in a moment where you could start budgeting for that now for the year. And Daytona's coming up, and hundreds of thousands of people are going to head to the state where you are not going to be protected. And I just implore everyone to go to Biker Down, get an insurance review. Please get on your phone, download the app, and please just try to be more proactive with your writing. Pick 2 or 3 things. I will get the underinsured. I will take the accident scene management class. I will learn how to render proper first aid. Do something, make the pledge today that within the next 30 days, you will do one of those things to make it safer for you out there when you ride.
100%. And, you know, repetition is key and you say you keep saying this, but we have to say this each and every week. You have to bring this up each and every week because one day it will resonate. And, you know, you are saving lives, Lori, by bringing this up, because you may not be saving thousands, but you're saving 1, 2, 3. Somebody is making that change from your voice. So somebody's going, you know what? I'm going to listen to Lori. I'm going to do this. I'm going to listen to Lori. I'm going to do this. I'm going to listen to Biker Down. I'm going to do this. You know, you are changing.
You to do it.
Huh?
That's how she got you to do it.
Well, I still don't have Aflac, but not yet. But you know, one day I will. We'll get through this stubborn guinea brain, and I will get Aflac.
But you know what's going to be, and I hate to say this way. I really hate to say it this way. That's what scares me, and that's why I kind of disengaged from nagging you about it, because I usually give someone, every time I see him, I give them about a year of me going, hey, you never did that. Hey, you never did that. And you know, there's not a person that I love that hasn't said that to me. what saddens me is even if it's not on the bike, if it's in a car or something seriously happens to you, the expendable amount of money that you will have to spend to survive, you will sit there and go, why in the hell didn't I give Laurie $37.50 a month? That's all I'm saying. And we have shown a couple people that have I'm sorry, I got an itch. Seriously needed that $20,000 or $26,000 to keep them going. And again, it's based on what happens, but I just never want anything to happen to anyone. So, but even more importantly, we did get you to do the insurance review, yes, which got you to get with Glenn, which now at least we know on the bike that you have all the right coverages to protect you and stuff like that. And, I know that you're taking care of, but you're a prime example of somebody that did listen to me.
But see that, and that's what it actually took, because I realized I didn't realize I was underinsured, because when I went and I purchased a bike, you have to purchase it in order for the dealership to let you leave the dealership. You have to have insurance, and I was like, shit. So I just went online, grabbed the quickest and cheapest insurance I can get, just so I can get that bike out the door. Yeah, and that's what I did. And then,
or your plates, right?
And then I didn't realize, I'm thinking, okay, so I'm done. And then it slips your mind because now you're out riding, you're doing your thing. And until you said, let's do an insurance evaluation, I gave it to Glenn, and I'm like, holy crap, I am so underinsured. All I did was get that bike out of the dealership.
Yeah.
Now I have to upgrade. So that's what I did. I upgraded my insurance. I got myself fully covered, and I actually have a more confident feeling while I'm riding, knowing that God forbid if anything does happen, I am covered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
true. You can have a little bit more road rage.
Yeah, a little bit more road rage. Now I can kick people.
Well, you get those biker down gloves and say, "Get off the frickin' phone."
Yeah,
and stuff. When is your accident scene management class?
Well, we got Michael coming on. Michael Long, the ambassador of fun, coming on right after you. We are discussing dates right now for the accident scene management course at Texas Harley Davidson. And we're going to set up some dates, probably more towards the springtime.
Yeah.
Or whenever
Don't try to do it before March, because to be quite honest with you, the later it gets in the riding season, the more people don't want to give up their Saturday.
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll get with Mike, or maybe we can do it in February. If you're going to fly down in February, maybe
I will fly down. And that's what I'm saying. We do them. And you guys, obviously have more warmer weather. Maybe not right now because of the Arctic polar whatever.
Yeah. We only get one day. February, it's going to be like 90 degrees. Bring a pair of shorts and a t-shirt.
But what you'll find is that you need to give yourself at least a 3-week window. And you really need to get people in on a Saturday. And if worst case scenario, ask Texas Harley, are they open on Sundays?
No.
Okay. You could even ask them if they'd open up on Sunday where you're going to hold the class and stuff. And that way people can still get their Saturday riding in, because sometimes that happens, So anyway, anything I can do to help.
Most people on Saturdays are going to Texas Harley Davidson because they have an event running each and every week.
Yeah.
One event for all the bikes. So people that's their ride. They ride from wherever they are to Texas Harley Davidson to enjoy the fun at Texas Harley Davidson.
And just make sure they give you guys a little something when they register, just to make sure they come. Because I used to give them away for free, and I'd have 30 people, and then 10 would show up. And then you have all the materials, because it's really hard when you have that opportunity to go ride, that to commit to that. But anyone who's considering taking that class, I commend you. I've been doing them for over 15 years, and I've had doctors, trauma nurses, combat medics that have done it. I've never ever had somebody say this was a waste of my time.
Right. Well, we're going to set it up with Glenn Lawson and the Biker Wolfpack and the Road Guardians, and they'll be out here. And we'll talk to Mike as soon as
whoop it up.
And we'll get you in here, and we'll run an excellent class. Laurie, thank you so much for everything. Enjoy your days, and we will see you next week.
Okay, I will be there. Thank you.
All right, love you.
I love you too. Talk soon.
All right. Lori Montoya with Biker Down. You know, one thing she's always preaching is the insurance. And, you know, we preach it